Welcome to Regent Park TV. I'm Kedar. Today we're diving into some key issues affecting Regent Park and St. Jamestown. Over the past year, we've seen changes in crime trends, safety initiatives, and community concerns, from gun violence and hate crimes to the future of harm reduction services. With so much happening, it's important to hear directly from those working on the ground. Regent Park TV sat down with Neighbourhood Community Officers, Constable Farzad Ghotbi, Mircea Biga, and Kumran, to get the latest updates on safety efforts, community engagement, and what's next for the neighborhood. This conversation is vital for Regent Park's residents who want to understand how safety strategies are evolving and how officers are working to build trust and inclusion. Now let's begin our interview. It's been a while since our last update in 2024. With everything that's happened in the last few months, can you share any new crime stats or incidents in Regent Park?
Hi, I'm Farzad Ghotbi, Toronto police officer, neighborhood community officer for Regent Park in 51 Division. As far as updates, we can talk about a few things that have happened just as of recent in Regent Park. As we have mentioned in the past, we do have a dedicated patrol car with 2 police officers in it for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their main objective is to have a directed patrol here in Regent Park where they just drive around, make sure they deter any kind of criminal activity, especially the crimes that we've had in the past in Regent Park where we had drive-by shootings, people coming here with their with vehicles and doing their shootings and leaving the scene. And since we've had that extra patrol, we can successfully say that we've made some significant arrests. Just recently, we had 2 significant arrests in and around Regent Park. One just recently that involved a vehicle with multiple guns that were found inside the vehicle, and that's just as a result of again the general patrol of that Regent Park patrol car. And a few weeks back, we also had another significant arrest. It was another vehicle involved, which had young people in it, and those young people were actually from Regent Park. It was a limousine filled with youth, and I'm not sure exactly what they were trying to do, but inside the vehicle there were multiple firearms that was located and seized, and the youth were charged, and as a result, myself and Mircea were conducting the bail compliance checks because the youth were released and they're now under house arrest. So part of the job we do as neighborhood community officers, anybody that's been involved in any kind of criminal activity, they've been charged and they've been released, and if they've been released to their house arrest, we do the compliance checks to make sure that they're following their conditions. So that's something we do, and because these young people were charged, we take the extra step to connect with the families there to make sure that that they're not sort of isolated. We're not just doing a quick check and walking away. We just want to make sure that if they need anything extra from us, that they can stay in contact with us. We want to make sure these youth do get the proper justice, because we don't want to set them up for failure where they're breaching their conditions and they're getting recharged again. So that's something Mircea and myself we do together. Same thing that happens in St. Jamestown as well, where there's a lot of bail compliance checks there too. So these are the recent significant arrests that has come out of Regent Park. As far as community events, we're always involved with any kind of cultural events. We just yesterday we celebrated the Chinese New Year here in Daniel Spectrum here, and these are some of the events that we always try to get involved with, because we want to engage with the residents here. We want to engage with our stakeholders so we can stay in touch. The more we show our faces on a daily basis, the easier it is for people to sort of connect with us. As a matter of fact, as we know, there's a lot of new condominiums that have come up, private condominiums, and they all have their concierge. And so what we do is we try to connect with those concierges from different buildings. In fact, this morning, just before we were coming to work, we received a call from one of those concierges asking for advice in terms of having issues in their parking lots. And we really appreciate that, and we really respect the fact that people have come to give us that extra trust that they can call us on our connected devices. We have our own work cell phones, that we give out to people that, if they have any kind of issues, they can contact us, especially dealing with the youth in Regent Park, because we know we have a lot of youth. And we have a lot of immigrants, too, that come from different parts of the world. We make sure we sort of tell the new immigrants what to expect when they're coming here in Canada, because obviously they're facing a whole new culture, language. And we're all multicultural, so there's different events going on. So we sort of try to educate as much as we can and give them the tools that they need to make sure that they don't fall through the cracks. We have a daily checks that we do with the mosque in Regent Park. That's something that we've done for the past year or so. From our headquarters, we have Project Resolute. Project Resolute is just for a place of worships around the city, whether it be a mosque or a synagogue. Given the turmoil that's been happening throughout the Middle East, part of the job that we do as neighborhood officers, we check on these places of worship just to make sure that the people that are in large gathering, they're feeling safe, and they're able to practice their religion, their culture, without having to worry about any kind of negative effects. So that's something that we do again on the side. And recently, Mircea and myself, we just finished a Pro Action Cops and Kids. That's something we try to do throughout the year, where we pick young people from the neighborhood, and we usually pick a sport activity. In this case, we were doing a fitness activity, weight training, which we held it at the community center. The community center has been really kind to us. We've had a really good, positive relationship with them, and they provided us the space, the weight room, and we were able to help some of these young people keep them active, keep them physical, and educate them about nutrition, educate them about training, exercise, teamwork, discipline. And we made sure some of the youth that we actually handpicked, they would benefit the most. Some of them were vulnerable, and some of them were actually newcomers, where they didn't have any friends, so we were able to connect some new friendship with them, with other kids, and also with the community center. And we were just wrap that program up, and we're looking to start another one eventually soon. So that's something we do as from Pro Action. Pro Action is from headquarters, where they assist us carry out that program with the kids. As far as future events, as of right now, what we're focusing on we have what's called the Project Hope. Project Hope is something that's going to be an initiative that's going to be all across the city with all the neighborhood community officers, where we're engaging with the newcomers when they first come. This is something we've already been doing here in Regent Park and St. Jamestown. Officer Kumar has already been engaging with the newcomers. So what we've done is we've sort of put this together into more of an official way of conducting business. Because we get an influx of newcomers, and a lot of the newcomers, they obviously don't know the way of the living that obviously is in Canada here, where there's new rules, there's laws, and we want to make sure that they understand their rights. We want to make sure that they're not going to be victimized. And that's the key thing, is to lessen the victimizations, because we've come across a lot of newcomers where they were defrauded, and they were threatened because they were saying, if you don't give us money, you're going to get deported, we're going to report you. So those are the things that we try to educate them and equip them with the proper education and tools that they need to be able to thrive here as new citizens, and to make positive relationships, because a lot of the newcomers that come from third world countries, they already don't have good relationship with the authority of the police. And obviously here in Canada, it's nothing like that. We try to make good relationships with our residents, and we want to make sure that they're not feeling scared coming to us. So if they see something, they can always come and contact us, that they're not going to get in trouble. So that's something we've already been doing, but now it's going to be an official title, which is called the Project Hope Newcomers Assistance Program, which every neighborhood community officer across the city is going to have to do on an official basis, and we're going to keep the stats and to see what kind of results we get and how effective it's going to be. We already had very successful rate here in Regent Park and St. Jamestown, and we're hoping to bring that success across the city.
The neighborhood police, I'm just going to follow up on what Officer Farzad mentioned. The main issue with a lot of the immigrants that come into the neighborhood is they don't understand the culture, the Toronto police system. They don't understand the basic things, how to report a crime. And they think that, just calling 911 is the only way you can report things, and then they don't get service, or like what's going on. How do we get in touch with reporting crimes, whether it's a noise complaint that's happening in their building, whether there have been, report of fraud, there's an actual emergency was ongoing. So one of the things we educate the people, the new immigrants, and how to report, whether if it's emergency, call 911, and whether it's non-emergency, where it's something that happened, but it's not an emergency anymore, call the non-emergency number 416-808-2222. And there's other things that were, theft from a motor vehicle, where you can file it online. So basic things like that. And then we, as a neighborhood officer, we are more approachable in terms of we're in the neighborhood all the time. So it's easier for them to set up a time where they can go to work, come back, and they're free only during this time, because a lot of the immigrants, they're working and they don't have time during the core business hours, and we are, if something where we can go meet them and have that discussion, and some of the issues that are going on. So and sometimes what helps is we connect them with the right resources in the neighborhood. In terms of St. Jamestown, we work closely with the 200 Corner. It's a social, it's an area where they help with the newcomers find jobs and all the things that they need. They have social workers and all that. Also, we work with Freedom City, which is a organization that helps deliver food in every Saturday. Like I said, these are sometimes with the price of grocery going up and low income, and the money needs to be stretched, and these are organizations that we help them connect with. And we work with the Wellesley Community Center. One of the programs we are involved right now is we started yesterday, which is with my partner PC Miller and myself. Is every other Sunday we teach young people to cook. And one of the reasons why we do this is to break the barrier, and we want to make sure that police are approachable. Some of the biases the parents may have brought to this country about policing and authorities, we want to break that, and we want them to know that we are approachable and things are different in Canada.
Thank you. After a gun violence-free 2023, the rise in 2024, and where we are now in 2025, how has this shaped your safety strategies, and what are your next steps?
That's a good question. We have to adapt at all times as police service, right? Just like Farzad was saying, we've been in Regent Park as first neighborhood officers since 2013, 2014. We came in a different Regent Park than what it is today, but we were able to break through and make connections with the community, get to know pretty much everybody in Regent Park, from social workers, youth workers, community workers, businesses, schools, principals, vice principals, youth, good and bad and ugly. Pretty much everybody we had to know and understand what's going on, understand what the community's needs are, and try to come with answers from a police lens, from a police perspective. Obviously, Regent Park is undeniably a way better place than what we found in 2014, 2013 when we started the program. With the whole revitalization, a lot has changed. The way more opportunities for people, way more jobs, more stores, more playgrounds for the children, more traffic through the area, and so it doesn't compare. At the same time, I can tell you that we are very aware of what's happening. We have officers at the station as well as in our centralized intel office that are closely monitoring what's happening in the social media and in the underworld. We are still aware that there are gangs affiliated to Regent Park, criminal gangs, and we're always monitoring the online conversations between them and other gangs from other parts of the city, or even little wars in between them amongst themselves. That being said, what I want to say here is that the police can only do so much in the education of these young children. Obviously, everybody has a role in society, and our role as police officers is obviously first and foremost to enforce the law and bring the people who are, we have grounds to believe that they're involved in criminal activity, bring them before the courts, and hold them responsible for what they're doing. At the same time, we're trying to act as role models for young generation, for the kids, try to support them in any way we can in terms of, just having a conversation on the streets or having programs, sports or arts programs, or being present to all these events where we meet the kids. We just had another conversation. We renewed the long tradition we had with the Nelson Mandela Public School, and we will start new programs during school hours or even during lunch breaks to get more involved with the children from Nelson Mandela. But I cannot stress enough how important, based on my personal experience, dealing with the crime in Regent Park, and mostly youth that are getting involved in criminal activity, I cannot stress enough how important parenting is. And I remember a great Roman emperor once said to his son, he said, "Your faults as a son are my failures as a father." I know we're coming from all parts of the world, and in some parts of the world, the village is raising the child. Here in Canada, it's a little bit different. The parents have to take responsibility and be a little bit more engaged, because we cannot expect someone else to make this first step. We cannot expect the school or the youth worker or the community center to raise our children. We have to step in. And I can tell you, in the greatest percentage, children who are getting involved in criminal activity are those who don't have enough supervision, those that don't have the discipline at home. And that's what we're trying to obviously get to learn, these families, and try to offer them support and connect them to the services. Sometimes it's overwhelming for the parents, many times, and actually vast majority, it's only a single parent, and they're overwhelmed with putting bread on the table for the children and educating them according to the laws that are in place in Canada. But that's why we're here, and anyone can anytime reach out to us, and we're going to support them 100%, no matter what. On a different note, I just want to break some news here for everyone. Like many people know Farzad. He's been a staple in Regent Park for the last 11 years. He made this program work. We're all looking up to him. And he was the nucleus, that kept us all together and kept the police and the community thriving and making all this progress. Fortunately, I would say, he was successful in the promotional process, becoming a sergeant with the Toronto Police Service. and he will soon depart this role for a different division, different roles as a sergeant. But I just want to use this opportunity to thank him on behalf of the Regent Park and on behalf of Toronto Police Service for everything he's done in Regent Park, because I'll tell you right now, nothing would have been possible without him here.
As you transition to a new role, Constable Ghotbi, what impact do you hope your work has had? And what messages do you want to leave for Regent Park residents?
My partner caught me off guard here, so it's a bit emotional, obviously, for me. It's bittersweet. Working, I have to obviously give credit back to my partner, Mircea. None of our success that we've had together would have been valid without having this partnership. Having the right relationship, having the right partnership, having the values that you truly believe in is extremely, extremely important in order to carry on the goals and all the things that you believe in that you want to do. Because we're both actually immigrants. We both came from two different countries, two different religions, two different races. But we believe in the same God. We believe in the same power that brought us here from different parts of the world to this country, where it's giving us the opportunity to live our dreams, to have a better future. We both came here to have this hope, that one day we're going to be able to have a good job, to have family, to have kids, and now be in this position where we're able to give that back. And we both truly believe in that. I can speak for both of us when it comes to, because Mircea is like a brother to me, not just a colleague, and that's something that we truly believed in coming into Regent Park, because we knew Regent Park was at a time where it's going through a lot of turmoil, a lot of broken pieces that needed to be brought together, and those broken pieces could not have been brought together if everyone did not chip in. So as far as Regent Park, it really literally became our second home. We treated it like our own second family, and we knew that the difficulties as immigrants coming here, what it is to be in a country where you don't even speak the same language, and to finally be able to give back. It was our opportunity, and it's been our honor. And now, looking back, it's something that sits very close to our hearts, and is going to be with us for the rest of our career and our lives. So Regent Park gave us that opportunity, and want to say thank you to all the residents, to all the people that believed in us, believed in that we can make this a better place for everyone. And what makes a better place for everyone? This is something that we can honestly say right now, is that given some of the turmoil that's been happening in and around the world, and even here in this country, where everyone's having a difficult time making ends meet, is to make sure during these times we're united. We've always believed in teamwork, and this is the time where we can see that there's unfortunately a lot of division that's been happening in and around the world, and it's starting to happen here in our own land here, and our job has now become where we want to make sure that people are not divided, people are united, and keep your focus on what's important. What's important is to be successful, to have a safe place that we can all feel free, that we can have a good life. These are the things that we take for granted sometimes, because in other parts of the world you don't get that, and we could easily lose it here. So from our point of view, we always preach, division is what breaks down communities. Division is what breaks down the world. So, yes, I am leaving, but I want to make sure that we stay true to ourselves and true to what we believe in, and we have to remember that we're just all of us are just the little pieces of the pie, and if we're able to come all together, we can make a whole pie together, and stop pointing the finger at each other, start taking responsibility, and talk about solutions. Don't just talk about problems, but talk about solutions. That's something that Mircea and I did from day one. We knew that we're headed in a direction where we're going to have a lot of issues standing against us, but all we focused on was the solution. And if you keep doing that, then you will get to where you want to be in life, and I truly believe that. So although I might be leaving, but it's not going to be forever, because Regent is always going to be a place for me that I'm going to call home, and I will revisit. I will make sure that I would come back and say hello, because I don't want to miss those relationships, and I would love to see this program continue. And if it was anybody else other than Mircea, I would say it's going to be difficult to continue this program. But since Mircea is going to be here, I have no doubt in my mind whoever takes my spot is going to continue that success. Having a role model like Mircea is unbelievable. It's not easy to get that, and I'm happy at least he's here to carry that torch here in Regent Park. But again, thank you so much for having us invited into your neighborhood, into your homes, and trusting us and believing in us that we can make a difference.
With the rise in antisemitism and Islamophobia over the past year, how are community officers addressing these issues and ensuring inclusion and safety in Regent Park and St. Jamestown?
Yes, unfortunately, we've had a rise of hate crime in the city of Toronto. Again, because of all the things that's been happening around the world, it affects everybody. Because we all come from different countries, from different parts of the world, and emotions get run high, and people start to feel maybe unsafe, or they may feel like their voice is not being heard. So what we do is because we stay connected closely to our community, because Regent Park is our priority. So that's what we focus on here, is our neighborhood, to make sure that, like you said, the division does not occur here, that we stay united as much as possible. And people are looking at us to see what we're doing, because we're held at a higher standard. Obviously, we're looked at as a way of safety and security for people, and we are very much connected to all the community leaders, and also the faith leaders that we have here, and to a place of worship, and as of I believe it's been over maybe 2 years now, Project Resolute, where we have directed patrol simply for our place of worship, which we mostly have mosques here in Regent Park, and we make sure we have those extra patrols, because more place of worship, we have more people come there at the same time, so it's large gatherings. So we want to give them that extra measure of safety, that they're all protected and they're feeling safe, and we also make sure that if there's any report of any kind of hate crime, we personally take it. As a matter of fact, we just did one not long ago. Was a victim here from Regent Park, and the person had targeted a certain individual because of what they were wearing, because they thought maybe just because they look maybe Muslim, they pass judgment, right? So we did we take those reports seriously. We do have a special dedicated hate crime unit now, where all the occurrences that happen around the city all goes to there, and we notify them, and they prioritize them in order, and nothing gets neglected, because we want to make sure that the rise of hate does not go any further. we'll keep it at the lowest possible. So these are the things that we've put in place here in Regent Park, and just our regular duties just to make sure that we stay connected and people tell us first. So we appreciate that. So we want to make sure that that continues.
Just want to add that Farzad covered pretty much everything in terms of Toronto Police approach to hate crime. What I want to say is pretty much, if I may give an advice, if I may. My advice would be that we all have to try to be a little bit more positive. Try to be a little bit more grateful for what we have instead of like concentrating on the negatives in some other parts of the world. We all, as immigrants, we all left our home countries for a better life. But it's extremely difficult for us to leave the baggage at home and come in this country clean and just take everything that this country is giving us, start fresh. And we're so tempted to bring the baggage and all the problems and all the negatives from the parts of the world that we're coming from and bring them over here and then try to pick fights with one another and arguments and get involved in everything that's negative, which in the end is not going to have any positive outcome. So, my advice is, there's freedom of speech, absolutely, and I'm a firm believer in freedom of speech. I grew up in a communist country where you could not say what you thought. Here, I think in Canada, we still have this, and it's extremely valuable, and we have to make sure we keep this freedom. But at the same time, we have to behave in a certain manner. We have to voice our concerns and voice our problems in a civilized manner, not offending other people, make our voice being heard. But if it's done in a certain way, then the message will be received way better than when you're in the middle of the intersection or in the middle of the street, full of rage, at we don't know whom, and then the members of this society, the people who probably want to go to work or go to school now are being impeded. Now the message is not going to be received the same way. So my one advice is, if we all try to be better persons and try to be grateful for what we have instead of concentrating on what we don't have, and work towards getting those goals done and obtain those, I think the whole society is going to be a better place.
As safe injection sites, including one in Regent Park, are set to close, how do community officers plan to address concerns about safety and supporting vulnerable populations?
I'll try to answer this one. Toronto Police cannot and will never support drug addiction. What we can support is the people who have addictions. We can support them and offer them, the help that they might need, and connect them with the services if they're willing to work towards getting cleaned. But I don't think there was ever confusion in terms of Toronto Police supporting drug addiction. What I can tell you, again, in terms of safe injection sites, I don't know if that's the proper name for these locations. I think it's an improper name because I can tell you, and I don't have the stats with me, but we have daily calls for overdoses at this injection sites. So I'm not 100% how safe they are. But I can tell you Toronto Police will be here and are present for all the residents, regardless of their social and economic status. And we are going to help everyone that needs our help. A couple of days ago, actually, we had an incident right here in front of this building where underhoused male collapsed and had a medical episode, and we took our time along with the medical personnel that attended. We brought him inside the lobby of this building where it was warm. He got a little bit of food. He got medical attention, and then he was he refused further medical attention, but he was able to leave safely this place. So, obviously, this is a political call. We have no involvement as Toronto police officers in the if it's a good or a bad thing that these injection sites are closing down. But what I can assure you is that the Toronto police officer will continue to support and offer our services to all individuals in this society, regardless of, as I said, social, economic, educational, or any other status.
Just to add on what Mircea was saying, we also have a new unit to address the supervised injection sites. I know they're closing down, so we have to deal with the influx of people that are going to miss those services. So instead, there's going to be a different service that's going to be provided, where we're going to have nurses that are going to be going to the clients, the people that need, or even the underhoused people in that area, and see how they can help them out to find them either a home, temporary shelter, or any social services that they may require. And these nurses will have a police officer with them. And basically, the main function for the police officer from Toronto Police is just there for safety. It's not there to intimidate or try to get anyone in trouble, because some of these underhoused people, or some of the people that have these sort of addictions, they may be also before the courts. They may have things that they may have on their file, and they may feel like, if the police is there, that they're going to arrest them and bring them to court and so forth. And that's not the function at all. The function for the police officers to let the nurse safely conduct their business, so they can help the underhoused and also the addiction issue off the street, so we can actually be able to have a safer community for everybody. So that's very important that we get that message across, because a lot of people think that, having the officer there, you're just intimidating the clients, and or perhaps you might get them in trouble if they were in trouble with the law. That's not the main function at all. It's just there for safety, so that the nurse can conduct the business. So hopefully that'll play out within the next year or so. It is a bit of a pilot project. Hopefully it will work. I mean, so far, based on from our own experience with the supervised injection sites, we've seen that there's as much as they're helping some people, there seems to be more issues than actual the help that's being given out. And it's a multifaceted issue. It's not one thing or the other. It's very difficult, right? So this is a new way the government is pushing to address this issue. And obviously the underhousing it's always been an issue in downtown area, especially now with the encampments and so forth. And we're working very closely with the City of Toronto, Parks and Recreation, and they're assisting us with the encampment. So we even had encampments here in Regent Park, where we had a lot of tents right by a children's playground. And we took the complaints from the residents very seriously. Yes, it took a little bit of time, but this is something that we couldn't push any faster. We had to work with City of Toronto, and they were able to come and remove those encampments safely and offer those people homes. It's not just about just coming, scoop them up and just get rid of them. We don't do that. We're dealing with human beings here. We're dealing with people who have they may have mental issues. They may have addiction issues, and they may just be underhoused and they just need help. So these things have to be considered. They take time, but it's been addressed. So it's not something that only Toronto Police is doing. We're working with City of Toronto to address all those encampments as well.
Finally, what messages would you like to share with the Regent Park community as you reflect on the challenges and opportunities ahead?
Obviously, the challenges, working in a city of Toronto, which is one of the largest cities in North America, and with the increasing of population, we're going to have obviously more problems. But the main thing is we, as Toronto Police, we're always adapting. We're always trying to stay ahead of the issue. It's not always easy. Sometimes it takes time before we can plan something to make sure that those issues get addressed. But they do get addressed, and it's all about adaptation. So. Problems always going to be there. So more people we're going to have. Unfortunately, we're going to have a bit more problems. But at the same time, if we have this two-way conversation with people, like we only see certain things from a certain lens, but sometimes the residents themselves, they see things that they may have, and they need to share that with us too, so that we can address it all together as one, so that we are able to provide those solutions. So the solution is not just from the police space, it's also community-based, and that's something that we have to continue to do together as one.
Regent Park is a constantly evolving community, and these discussions help us to stay informed and engaged in shaping its future. A big thank you to Constables Ghotbi, Biga, and Kumran for sharing their insights. And to our audience, thank you for tuning in. Stay connected with Regent Park TV for more updates on these issues that matter most to our community.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also follow us on social media, and for more information, check out our website.